So, contextualizing is important, and I think contextualizing something that I experience in my home space where I do the majority of my work. Oh my gosh, I think I just found one of those weird hairs that like grows from your body, and oh no, it's not. It was just a regular hair on my arm. I thought it was like one of those weird long hairs that like grows in a weird place on your body, and I was like, cool, and then it wasn't. I think it's important to contextualize as I, continue to share about my Spiritpreneur endeavors, that my home space and my mental home space is constantly in flux. So I live with my parents. My dad has been retired since like maybe mid-first quarantine. And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get the silence and stillness and spaciousness that I need to start my day, to really feel clarity around what I'm doing and how to do it in a way that feels really consistent. I don't get a lot of consistency living in this space. And that is something that I'm trying to mitigate by co-working with a friend twice a week, by working at my other job between card readings, like unless I have card readings at my other job, I really have nothing to do. I'm just there for 5 hours. So I go and I bring all my stuff and I work there. I work like in the middle of the night. I work after they've gone to bed. I'll stay up for 2 to 6 hours, just depending on what my energy is like. And I will also try and, like, when I wake up during witching hour, which is, in the middle of the night, around 4 a.m. for me, I will sometimes like get up and stay up and work then too. But more so like when I do it then, it's more like creative stuff. Like I really focus on like the most creative or introspective stuff then. So it's less like worky work and more like being in service to myself. There might be a lot of these because I'm trying to regulate in my body how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling bombarded today. I'm feeling like the noise level is too much. I'm feeling like just anybody else being in my space is an invasion of my space. And it's nobody's fault. This is my other part that I wanted to share, is that I also have ADHD and anxiety, and I'm very highly sensitive because of all of those things. And I'm gonna get my period soon as well, I think. More hair. I'm gonna get my period soon as well, I think. So it's just a matter of time before I break down into tears today. I'm gonna take some St. Johns Wort, and see if that helps with like my mood, because I definitely feel on edge of the moodiness today, which is another ADHD thing. So that may level me out a little bit, but there's still like sound and noisiness. Like this level of sound and noisiness is I'm as far away from it as I can possibly get while still being at home. Like, I'm on a chair in the middle of the yard, which is away from the house, and also like equidistant between the house and the street. So cars passing, planes flying overhead, people working outside with power tools. As weak as it makes me feel to be broken down by all of these things, I also recognize the strength in taking action to do the best that I can for myself, and to also just acknowledge that this isn't natural. The level of noise, like noise pollution, is a real thing, and being sensitive to sound, I mean, being anywhere on the autism spectrum especially, is a big part of being a creative's life. If you're a creative, then you probably have ADHD or somewhere, on the autism spectrum. But you've probably found lots of ways to try and subvert that. And I commend you for doing the best that you can for yourself, because it really is hard to be in a world where people either are sensitive to that kind of stuff and have numbed themselves, or have leaned into it, or they're just neurotypical and it doesn't bother them whatsoever. And you look like the crazy one for feeling like the level of noise that we have created after the Industrial Revolution, I'm sure, was to the culprit. Humans and men are really the culprit. I feel like being sensitive to this kind of stuff seems crazy and seems like too much and seems weak. But my sensitivity is also the reason that I can see things other people can't, that I recognize problems before they escalate, that I can feel into energies, relational energies, emotional energies, cosmic energies before anyone else. It's the reason that I'm a medium. It's the reason that I'm an energy reader, a psychic. It's because I have the power and the gift of sensitivity. And in the same way that there is a power and a gift in not being so highly sensitive for people who are neurotypical, there is also a weakness to that. They often are followers because they don't know what's coming. They can't sense what's coming. They can't sense when other people are distraught, or there are positive and negative to everything. There's strength and weakness in everything. And the context of this day for me is Mercury Retrograde affecting one of the reels that I wanted to make today, and it just not recording at all, just attempting to record over and over, doing everything that I know to do to try and fix it, closing it out, starting again, refreshing the app, just everything that I've that has helped me and has fixed the problem before, but didn't today because Mercury Retrograde. And also, on top of the frustration of like trying to get that work done and not being able to, is the loudness of the TV inside, the loudness of the leaf blower as you know, like the TV's loud, so I go outside. Then the door opens and a leaf blower starts blowing, and that's my dad's way of like dusting the house or even like sweeping out the house sometimes. And so I have to like run even further. I run away and then I run even further away because the noise is just hurting me. It's just grating. It's incredible how much sound really fucks with me. And I would love to know if y'all have the same or a similar experience, because it's sound, it's visuals I've created. So this is a positive that I'll share with you. Besides the positive of taking care of myself and doing what I need to do to go and get away from the things that are bothering me, and also the self-awareness involved in recognizing I'm about to get my period, so it's a little bit more heightened. I haven't eaten yet. I'm experiencing new supplements that I've added, Nootropics that I've added to help me with ADHD, which I'll probably talk about in a future episode if y'all are interested in that. And it's a lot of things, and the self-awareness involved in, see, this is the kind of noise that I like. It's like white noise. The self-awareness involved in noticing this is what's going on with me. This is not normal. It will not be like this every day. I broke down and had an anxiety attack one time after my rejection dysphoria, which is something that a lot of people with ADHD and anxiety and depression have, is feeling like when somebody says, no, I don't like that, or I don't want that, it's like, they don't want me, they don't like me. Like, it's not just taking it personally, it's like taking it personally to the next level, which our brains tell us to do. And there's really, I mean, again, with self-awareness, just having the self-awareness to recognize what I'm going through, and being able to recognize that it's not going to be like this every day, and that I have things that can help me. The St. Johns Wort is going to really help me, I think. Going to my friends, today is Friday, on Mondays and Fridays I go co-work with a friend. I'm about to be getting dressed to go co-work with her soon. Things like that, like, I know I have built systems, and also I have surrounded myself with the support that I need. And that's the beauty of the self-awareness here. Felt like I was trying to lead into something else, and I'm sorry that I'm unable to retrieve that for a second, but I hope you'll join me in just like a moment of silence as I sit and I maybe try and recollect my thoughts, so I don't have to make a second video. But maybe that's what I'll do as I watch this butterfly. It's not coming back to me, and that's okay. I'll start another video so that I can continue where I left off before I got distracted by my own. I haven't taken my nootropics in a day or two. I think I only took one, and it's the optimal choline, which is to help with energy and mental clarity. But there are like 3 others that help me with mental clarity that I haven't taken in a couple days. So I'm like, I'm really learning about myself. Really learning about myself. And just witnessing that the space that I'm in mentally, the space that I'm in physically is affecting me, and the context of getting work done and being an entrepreneur with the mental state and the physical state that you're in can have a lot to do with how much or how little you get done and how you feel about even starting. That's where I wanted to take this video. So let me know how this resonates with you. I love you. Thank you for joining me.